Well, welcome back. 2001 Ford Focus dual overhead cam. They make a single overhead and a dual overhead for this particular car. It needs a valve cover gasket. It's leaking pretty heavily around the valve cover. So got 270 some thousand miles on it. So we're just going to go through and do the valve cover gasket on this. Alright, pull the plugs out here. I just numbered them, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's pretty simple. Lay it back here out of the way. Alright. There's a lot of crud on here. I'm going to get a vacuum. I'm actually going to vacuum this real quick before we do this. Just wanted to get the worst of the crud. It's really not going to hurt anything. Fall down on top of the intake, but it doesn't hurt to clean it up a little bit. All right. I believe we can just leave that alone. All right. I think that's it. I think. It's loose. Don't want to lose this wrench. So we'll see if we can get this out without having to take this front cover off here. I don't know if we can or not. Let me disconnect this hose back here. Clean it off a little bit. Right here. Pretty cruddy. Yeah, I'll just slide off. That probably needs a PCV valve. Look at that. I think that's what that is. Looks pretty willy. There's the front half. So if I can get this off without having to, I don't know if I can or not. I'm going to have to see. If not, I'm going to have to take this cover. There it goes. So you can slide it off there, so I want to be careful. I don't want to get crud down in here. Just kind of just push stuff out of the way. And leave all down. Yeah, pretty good. It doesn't look bad for 273,000 miles. So there's what's left of the gasket. Which is not a lot. Not looking too good. Not much to it there, you know. So we're just going to take this and clean it. We'll come back in here and clean the mating surface for the gasket. Alright, so now I'm just going to come back with clean rag and brake clean. Clean it again. This is the exciting part here. It's important though. Gotta clean it. You gotta clean it. Just wipe it down. I'll get a glove. off of me. If it's on you, it's in you. Piece of Scotch spray for that. Piece of Scotch spray. I'm just gonna clean the surface real good, carefully. I don't want to get stuff down into the, like I said, into the upper valve channel. Just cleaning the mating surface really good here. All right, I'll come back when this is done. I mean, I realize this is really exciting, but there's not much to see here. I've gone around and cleaned this whole mating surface really well. Being careful, I just had a rag. I was jamming a cloth rag down in there. Keep any dirt, anything that might come up off the sealing surface out of the head, out of the valve train. So now now that I've done that, I'm just going to go around with a clean rag and some brake clean and go along the mating surface. Make sure that anything, oil or anything like that might be on there, and get it off there and keep this clean. Now I'm going to go and clean the actual cover, put the new gasket in it, and we'll put it back together. Pretty simple. Takes more time to clean than anything. Just a little bonus. I was in here looking at a couple things and pulled the hose off to the valve cover and just looked really cruddy, so ended up pulling the air filter box out of here, out of the way, and looking at this, and this is dirty. It's filthy. It's just full of stuff. So we'll be replacing that as a little bonus here. It doesn't look too bad from the top, but when you flip it over, it's just clogged up full of stuff. I don't know how long it's been in there, but it needs to be, look at that, just falling apart. It needs to be replaced. We're going to replace that too. Okay, got the valve cover here all cleaned up. Hopefully you can see this. I can't tell. Yeah, you can see it. So we got it all cleaned up. One of the things that I recommend you do if you're doing this, a lot of times what will cause the oil to push out past the gasket is a bad PCV valve that's clogged. PCV valve is down buried here, kind of just to the left, or if I'm looking at it from my left at this point, of the water, the inlet for the outlet for the thermostat. It's hard to get to, and there's a little 90-degree pipe, rubber hose that goes to that. I pulled it, and as soon as I pulled on it, I got the PCV valve, but it broke the pipe right off because it's so brittle from being in there 270,000 miles. But I do recommend that you replace that PCV valve when you're doing this. So I'm just going to weasel this back in now. I've got the gasket underneath there. It's in place. It's held in place by a little kind of nubs. It has little nubs on it. Everything's been cleaned really well. And we're just going to stick it back in place. Keep hitting my light here. Weasel it back in carefully. This doesn't take very long to do. What takes the time is cleaning. It just takes time to clean this thing. You got to get this end, you got to kind of push back under the timing cover, get it lined up correctly, make sure it's lined up right. Back up. Alright, so you just clean the bolt heads off there pretty cruddy. Make sure they're clean. Just start setting them in place here. Start them by hand. Always start these by hand, so you don't cross thread them. You do not want to cross thread these. Alright, just these are just going in. I'm just gonna run them down. Not tight, just run them down. Alright, I'm going to go look up the specs for this and find the torque specs for how these, you want to torque them to spec on these stuff or it will leak on you. So I'm going to go look that up, we'll come back and we'll do it. Alright, so I looked this up, 52 inch-pounds. I'm just going to go around 30. I didn't do it in 2 passes and I'll just kind of start in the middle and work my way out. Alright, 52 now, I'll just bump this up to 52. That's it. Alright, I'll put our plugs back in now. Numbered them. There's number 4. Okay, that's it. That's pretty much it. I've got all this stuff undone, but that's for the PCV valve and the hose. I'm just waiting for that. I'm waiting for a part, but pretty simple. I got one hose to put back. I took off. I have to put back. Clips into the air cleaner underneath the bottom of the air cleaner housing. Which you can't see, but it's buried down in here. Clip that back in. Let's get it in place here. Alright, that back in. That hose back on. Okay, that's good. Good to go. Alright, that's it for now. Pretty simple job. What takes more time than anything is just cleaning. Cleaning the mating surface, cleaning the valve cover off. And that's it. Well, that's it for the valve cover gasket. Not very difficult at all. As I said earlier, you're going to spend most of your time just cleaning the mating surface, cleaning the valve cover, making sure it's clean before you put it back together. I did mention this a couple times probably, but PCV valve, which is down on the back front of the engine here, right by the upper radiator hose. A lot of times that PCV valve will cause that problem with it pushing oil out around the gaskets, or kind of blowing the gaskets out, because it gets clogged up and it increases the pressure in the crankcase. I highly recommend that you replace that PCV valve if you're doing this valve cover gasket. Like I said, this car has 270,000 miles on it, so I'm pretty sure the PCV valve, looking at it, and I've pulled it out of there, has never been changed. But I'm waiting for the part. Hose was brittle, so as soon as I kind of pulled it apart, the hose came apart. No big deal. We'll put that back in. This is definitely something it's not hard to do. You can do it. You know, just a valve cover gasket, probably 20 minutes of cleaning, 10 minutes to get it apart, half an hour, 40 minutes. You can do this whole thing. If you have to do this car, I hope this helps you out. If you like the video, subscribe below. Thanks for watching.